Go.
Starting a business can be challenging, from handling customers to staying on top of marketing, sales, employee management, and everything in between. Maintaining business operations can be daunting. Wemu is here to help you. It's everything you need in one app. It understands your needs and has designed Wemu to anticipate them. Wemu assists in your growth by giving you the components you need, such as point of sales, invoice, reports, marketing, and more. Keep things moving with Wemu. Wemu comes with built-in reminders that keep you on track and mitigate stress. Remember, it's more than a data capturing software, it's your companion. Wemu helps you to be productive and stay motivated. Time to thrive. Wemu facilitates prosperity for solopreneurs and small business owners. You also gain access to the Discovery app. With Discover, your business becomes highly visible to your local community, allowing you to establish new customers and create important partnerships. Sign up and get an early access to Wemu.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Scrapyard. I'm Marcos Suarez,
And I'm Johnny Altamonte.
where the conversation matters more than where we end up. With our first ever guest,
Here we go.
we have
Patrick Meehan.
Yeah, official relationship coach.
All right, so we jump straight into it. We have our first guest, our first relationship coach, which necessitates our topic for today, relationships. So before we jump into relationships and into whatever we end up talking about, let's get to know a little bit more about Patrick and how we're going to do this, because it's obviously very new. He's our first guest. Marco and I are going to take turns asking him random questions.
All right.
This was supposed to have been planned, but we forgot about it till literally just now. So these questions are just going to come from the top of our heads.
All right,
Marco,
5,
start off.
4, 3, 2, 1. Patrick, you ever been in a fight?
I actually have not been in a fight.
Same here.
Yeah, me too. We're all pussies.
There we are, all pussies.
I'm a runner.
I'm a runner too,
Yeah.
actually.
I'm a crier.
Oh, wow. That's a strong move.
Yeah.
Well,
It's an ultimate power play.
Right? They have to battle their own conscience.
that's
They
true.
see someone crying on the floor. How can you keep on hitting him?
Works every time. Okay. Question number 2. Patrick, if you were an animal, what animal would you be?
Dude, I think I'd want to be maybe a unicorn, because why the fuck not?
Amazing.
That's fantastic. Marco,
What
go.
age do you wish you lost your virginity?
Well, I would say 7 to set the world record. But this other dude did it at 6, so fuck that guy.
Amazing.
Maybe 18, 17.
Okay, fair enough. What is your biggest regret in life?
Dude, come on, this is so heavy.
Yeah.
You're trying to make me cry on my first time here?
Yeah, that's what we do.
Okay. Well, there was that one time that I can't really think of anything on the top of my head. Maybe being on this show.
Huge.
Yeah.
That's fair. All right, we deserve that one. Marco, you?
How tall are you?
I'm 6'1", but that's not what you really wanted to know, is it?
I don't believe you. You look shorter.
Oh, fuck you, man.
What is success to you?
Wow, Dad. Like, back to back, what the fuck questions, dude.
Yeah, no, we got to know about Patrick.
I'm more of just an easygoing person. You know, if you have happy, healthy relationships and you're happy, to me that's pretty successful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Let me just move this for you so I can hear you a little bit better.
All right.
Just like that.
There
I'll
we
pull
go.
this in. There you go.
All right.
You good?
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
good.
So let's ask right now, how'd you get into the relationship consulting game, and what exactly do you do on a day-to-day basis?
Okay, so besides, compulsive masturbation, when I'm working my other job, as a relationship coach, I found it on the internet because I wanted to get away from teaching English. Because honestly, I hate kids. No,
Kids are the
I'm
worst.
kidding. The kids are fine. But I found it on the internet. And my day-to-day basis is basically just 8 hours nonstop of helping guys get over their ex-girlfriends or helping girls move on from their ex-boyfriends. Basically just breakups.
So
Yeah.
it's less relationship manager than post-relationship.
Technically,
Right.
we do relationship management, but it just seems like the way I guess they market it, the only people seems like I get are almost always like
Oh.
guys and girls going through a breakup and like need help. occasionally I'll get like some girl is like, I need help with online dating, which is
Okay.
weird because like I'm a fucking guy. I don't know
Right.
why I'm qualified to give advice,
Uh-huh.
but for whatever reason they go along with it. Like, okay, yeah, he knows what it's like for a woman, who's single, trying to like find a guy.
Yeah, what were your qualifications prior to getting into this thing?
They saw I had a psych degree. I'm a human being, and I was willing to work on the cheap, and they said okay.
See, I don't have a psych degree. I'm not qualified.
It's definitely because you failed the test, though.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So there was a test, right? So
It took me like 7 hours to do it. It's like this long ass test. Like, I mean, you took it.
Yeah, I did not pass.
yes, we know. After very confidently saying, well, "This is ridiculously easy. I did it in an hour or two.
Well, first of all,
I'm the best," quote unquote.
I thought I knew women.
Yeah.
Well, evidently I did not. Patrick's got at least 2 legs up on me because he's a professional.
He is a professional.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, by the way, do you deal with people more so just dealing with the trauma of a relationship, or do you actually help them try and get their ex back?
Okay, so I'm gonna say it depends on the client. Usually it's the trauma because like if I try and give advice, which I always feel like I should because they're paying me,
Yeah.
a lot of times it's just them whining, and I'm like, dude, they're paying me like, 3,000-4,000 pesos an hour, and I didn't even tell them to do shit. I just told them life's gonna be okay.
Did you say 3 or 4,000 pesos an hour?
Yeah, wait.
Yeah,
I,
that's
s-
what they
I, I,
pay.
I
Yeah.
stopped for a second. I was
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah, my eyes got a little big.
Yeah, that's what it's like. All Western, clients, Australians, Americans,
Amazing.
Europeans.
Okay.
I'm just some dude in the Philippines, giving them advice. But no, sometimes the clients are more like, I want you to tell me what to do, an exact plan.
Okay.
I enjoy that more. It gets kind of repetitive listening to someone tell me for an hour that their ex is so amazing and
Right.
can't believe she left me.
Man. Yeah.
Damn. Like, okay. Do you have any like post like review after? Like, do you know how many people you've actually gotten their exes back together with because they talked to you, or is it more of like a mystery?
Yeah, that's actually a good question. Like, do you have a success rate?
Yeah, is it like a percent? Like he'll get you your ex back at least half the time.
That would be phenomenal if I could do that. I would say that I haven't worked with one client enough to see that happen
Oh.
yet because I'm new. But I know there's like research out there, and it's like 30% of people get back with their ex, and then 50% of them break up again within a year.
Whoa.
So only maybe
That
15%
makes
of people
sense.
get back with an ex and then last
in
longer
general
than a
or
year.
through your service?
No, in general, like
Oh.
without service.
Oh.
So I don't know how much we impact them.
So you were saying you haven't been there long enough. Does that mean you have to deal with a client over and over, and then maybe they get back with their ex? Like, what's the amount of time that's normal?
The thing is, the research shows like it takes 3 to usually 6 months is the sweet spot. Less than
Whoa.
a month is like
Whoa.
legendary. If you did it under a month, you're like a
To
fucking
get their ex
champ.
back.
Yeah, you're a fucking boss. Like maybe like less than 1% does it in less than a month.
Okay.
Then it's like month to like 3 months. It's like 13 to 20% pull it off. 3 to 6 is like 25. 6 to a year is like another 25. Then after a year, you're pretty much a goner.
Sorry. How old are these people? Like normally, like your clients?
A lot of times they're older than me, like twice my age. I once had a client who
Oh,
was 62
Okay.
and was trying to get back with a 23-year-old. So that was pretty trippy.
Yeah, tell me the story, please.
Yeah,
Details,
yeah,
please.
go.
This is so fun.
So that guy was probably, I felt so bad for him because he's just like a slow ass typer.
Yeah,
And it
he's
was all-
63.
63.
he was battling arthritis as
And-
well as heartbreak.
Yeah. And I kept telling him like, you want to just do a phone call? Like he's just like, no, I'm more comfortable like texting. So I'm like, it'd be like sometimes 8 or 10 minutes for him to get a text. I was like,
Damn.
Wow.
Some of his text messages cost him 500 pesos a text.
Wow.
Because
so
of how
slow.
slow
Because
he
Slow
was.
he
so
is.
slow.
So like we didn't get anywhere with him in 2 sessions, like nowhere, like no actionable steps. Like we didn't really fully understand it. We just kind of realized, he's probably kind of needy because he's like, I sent her 100 text messages after she broke up with me. She hasn't responded. So it's like, okay.
100.
One-
That took him
100 text
3 weeks to
messages.
do.
No, he did it in 6 weeks, then came to us. And he keeps asking, can I get her back? And that's like the hardest question because it's like, well, I mean, bro, you sent 100 text messages. I mean, now you're here. It's like, you kind of already fucked it up. But no, he disappeared. He ghosted us.
Damn.
Okay. Sorry, time out. Can you just like wiggle the track back? Okay.
Yeah,
we're
it's
good.
still going. We just got a little worried.
All right,
We
yeah,
got
no.
sleepy.
It happens.
Mm.
Wow. Yeah, that's
amazing.
Yeah,
that is pretty.
See, I don't get the texting 100 times to get your ex back, but like texting 100 times to like get someone's attention makes complete sense.
Yeah, because you definitely got it.
Right?
Okay, if you're texting 100 times.
Exactly.
But this thing, he didn't even get her to respond. Like, she like basically sent the last text was like, I really care about you and I hate my new job that it's keeping us apart and blah blah blah. Then he texted her something and then like she didn't respond ever again.
It's probably because he took so long to text it. She was like, my God, he's ghosted me, and then blocked his number. So she never actually got those 100 messages. She just thought like he ghosted, like, oh my God.
Don't you feel kind of like that was draining to hear the one time? Like, don't you deal with that every day?
Yeah.
The first couple of weeks it was so fun because I was new. It's like, I can handle this, and they're like, listen, you got to give yourself breaks. You can't just do 8 hours. It's gonna drain you. And then now it's like, okay, 8 hours of listening to people bitch. It's like, all right, it's pretty draining. I'll admit.
Damn.
Has it affected you, like, your day-to-day life? Like, have you become a more cynical person because of it? Is that something that's happened? Is it something you've noticed? Like.
No, I wouldn't say I've become more cynical. It's given me more hope in terms of, especially when it comes to women, because some of the women that seek advice, their like ex is kind of shitty towards them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, even though they're shitty, you'd expect them to badmouth them like just a little bit.
Right.
They won't even do that. Like some of them is just like, he did this because of that. Like understanding them, and they're like,
Right.
Wow.
like there's just like there's like no like backbiting with some of them. It's impressive. It's like, holy shit. Like if he doesn't get back together with you, like here's my number, hit me up.
On the topic of exes, can I ask you, do you have any bad breakup experience?
So I've had two real girlfriends.
Real
girlfriends.
And
We believe you. Don't worry.
I imagine you're. So two real girlfriends, like like actual girlfriends, not like I saw her, went on one date, held her hand, and now she's my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Shit. Because I get that a lot.
The
like,
Filipino standard.
Filipino
yeah. It's
girlfriend.
like Patrick, we saw you talking to a girl, so we thought that was your girlfriend. I was like, if that's the case, I have a lot of girlfriends.
Yeah.
Like, you held her hand at the bar. When's your anniversary? Man? Like, congratulations, you got one.
Yeah.
I was like, it took me forever to hold a woman's hand. I'm so happy I'm there. I fell in love immediately. Like her hand was so soft. I was like, I gotta marry her.
So you had these two exes.
So two exes. One was a 2-year relationship, and I didn't try and get her back, to be honest. My initial reaction was upset for 2 weeks. Then I'm like, okay, sweet, let's fuck bitches.
Nice.
The first one was definitely was more difficult for sure. It was 6 months, and I did actually try to get her back. I did not succeed.
What was the story with that chick?
I mean, I was like my first time dating, like first girlfriend.
A non-white person.
No, she was white.
Classic. Could have been money.
And we've talked about this before. Like she was pretty fucking crazy and intense sometimes.
But like a whirlwind of like romance. That's why you got into it. How old were you?
Yeah, of course. The hitting and choking was just amazing. No, I'm kidding. Or am I?
It doesn't matter, man. I believe you.
Yeah.
No, she was kind of like, she was 17 and I was 21. So she was
Whoa, cool.
Okay.
So she was like, at the peak of her hormonal whatever. So you like one day would be like, I love you. And then an hour later, like yelling at me for no reason. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
I thought you meant like peak of like her hormonal like sexual activeness, like while you were struggling to get an erection.
I would say that there was one time we did fuck like 9 times in a day.
Oh, Jesus.
Like I didn't want to. Like it's just really like I was just so like, oh my gosh, like I never thought you'd reach a point where you'd ever turn down sex. But I was so inexperienced at the time. I was like, no, like that's a real thing. Like,
you ever reach 9, bro?
No. I've
not even close, dude.
Reached 9.
It's not fun, dude. You start faking orgasms many times throughout the day. Just like, yeah, I finished. I'm good.
So what's your fake orgasm sound?
I'm like kind of a ninja where I'm deadly but silent kind of thing.
Where it's just a face. What's your face? Because we also have video.
I'm kind of like real serious. Like I feel like I feel like I'm playing.
Can you imagine this?
Just like smolders.
Yes, all of a sudden it's dead.
It's actually
smolder.
just like that, where it's just like this is
Babby eyes.
business we're doing right now. This is like there's real things at stake right now. This is the Super Bowl,
Or
like
like
the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
See this, the
Like, I
intense
can't-
breathing, the back and forth motion. All of a sudden,
No, there's
Babby
no
eyes. all of a sudden, just
there's no breathing. It's just like some serial killer shit where it's just like stone cold, you can't read me kind of face, like
you pout.
Kobe Bryant about to hit a 3-pointer or something.
He does the lower jaw thing. You know
Oh,
that,
does
right?
he? Okay.
This.
Yeah.
Imagine you're about to finish it.
To be fair, I've never seen myself like have sex, so I don't know how I look.
You
So
could
this is
amazing.
all wrong.
So this could
This
be
is
all wrong.
This is,
Like,
this is 100% all wrong. You make
Or
the weirdest face.
You could be amazing.
yeah, you're like just straight up blue stealing the whole
Yeah,
time.
you could be amazing. We don't know that.
so, I mean, if you interviewed her, she'd be like, "No, dude, he was crying the whole time. Like, what the fuck is he talking about?"
He thought that was sex. I was patting his back. He was on the floor.
The dude was having panic attacks. Like, it was embarrassing.
He did come 9 times though. I'll give him that. That part was real.
But it happened all in 1 minute. So just to clarify, it was all in 1 minute. Like the 9 times that you orgasmed. So in that sense, it was pretty impressive. Just seeing that alone. But no, I did not orgasm when he fucked me. So,
Amazing.
Good God, man. So, so the 9 times things had to end. They ended mostly because it was tumultuous. What advice would you give yourself, Patrick, the relationship coach,
manager.
to Patrick, the young buck, possibly with Kobe Bryant face?
Kobe Bryant.
Here's the thing. Like, when we broke up, I fucked it up so hard where once I figured out what to do by reading a book and getting advice from someone that knew what they were doing, it was like I started to recover, but it was like I already passed that point.
How'd you fuck it up?
Oh,
Yeah,
I mean,
I should not have cried 9 times.
Did you make out with her mom?
I think texting her, 101 times is too much. I think
Mm.
100 is where
That's
it's
a
okay.
sweet spot.
That's
you
the
know
sweet
what
spot.
Patrick was a 63-year-old man this whole time.
I mean? Telling his own story.
He's like, yeah. So there was this old man. He texted.
Yeah, he was like 63 or whatever.
yeah, something.
I would say how I fucked it up is I tried to get back together, and even though she was way worse than me, I was like trying to convince her. It's kind of sad actually when I look back on it. I was trying so hard
Yeah.
to make it work, begging and all that. We finally did get back together, and then she was just like, "Listen, like I kind of want to fuck other guys, and like we could still fuck and shit." I'm like, "No, like, don't do that. It's real."
That's painful.
Yeah.
So you can fuck other girls. Like I don't want to fuck other girls.
Let's be real. I feel like when you first madly, intensely fall for someone, begging is just the knee-jerk reaction to get them back.
Yes,
But, like,
yeah.
please. Like,
But
please.
why?
The craziest thing is every single guy that's ever like joined like a Get My Ex Back, like a serious like paid money or like a community, every single one of them is begged. And then like the women I've worked with, like they're less likely to beg. They're like, no, I'm not gonna like debase myself by begging to them. And I'm just like, shit.
Oh.
Like, what is it with guys?
Well,
Like,
we
they're-
talk about this. I feel like girls fall in love more frequently, but when a guy falls in love, he is
Yeah.
absolutely, utterly helpless.
No, it's so true. Like, it's like even like a stone cold player, like they're usually the guys like I got my heart broken one time, and since
they're-
then
they're
it's just
still not okay.
nonstop
Yeah.
fuck bitches.
It's been like 5 years of I hate women.
Like I
and,
hate women. I just pump and dump them. Like women, on the other hand, are just like they'll break up, they'll come to me, and then like a month later, be like, yeah, I realized why am I trying so hard to even get him back? Like fuck that guy.
Have you seen that breakup curve thing with girls and boys?
Yeah, I have actually.
Yeah, right? Like, it's the girls that, like, cry for, like, 2 weeks, and then they
They're
slowly
okay.
recover, and you see them in the club after.
Yeah.
While the guy, it's the reverse.
Well, here's
Yeah.
my take on it. I don't think it's an issue of like it's a girl like it's a sexual dimorphism thing.
Okay.
Like there's an innate difference between male and female. I think it's more a societal thing. Men are just so bad with feelings and emotions.
Yeah,
We're so bad with
that's
it.
so true.
We're-
I'm
we're just-
amazing. I'm in touch. I don't
No,
know what
you-
you're talking about.
You've cried thrice today.
Because
Um,
I'm so in touch.
Fair.
Like, you've only
Fair,
strengthened my point.
Okay, no.
She's got his pee.
Point made. But I mean, in general, growing up, you're not allowed to have feelings.
So true.
As a man, no, we don't get it at home. We don't get it. So the moment you get like a reciprocal feeling, whether it's toxic or not, just the fact that somebody cares about you and says it to your face, like as a boy turning into a man, right? It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Well, person to person case. Where did you learn to not have feelings?
Yeah, wait 1 second. Can you?
No, it's fine. It's still working.
I know. I just kept printing. Yeah.
I
Okay.
can see it. Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Sorry. Repeat.
Where did you learn in your household? Because you said men.
Yes.
Where exactly did you learn that men can't have feelings? From like TV or like your parents or like your
It's a mix of things. Well, TV definitely played a part in it. The man of the house, that whole trope. Also generally in the household, if for example you were seen crying, like out in like with my family, like extended family, they'd let you have it for years. For years.
Right.
What happened was, my story was when I was a child, my dad flew me to Davao with him. I was like 6 at the time.
Okay.
6, maybe 5. So in Davao, which is like a maybe an hour and a half flight, we went there, we saw the Philippine Eagles and everything was quite lovely. And then we stayed over at my uncle's house, who had Jurassic Park 3 on DVD.
Huge.
Oh.
Huge movie.
Amazing.
Spinosaurus appearance.
Incredible. Mind blowing. So I was like, I have to stay and watch this. But I was like, our flight's in like 45 minutes. No, we can't. I'm like, it's Jurassic Park 3, Dad. What are you talking about right now? I was like, okay, sure, you can stay. I'll just catch a flight tomorrow or something. I was like, sure, it's worth it. So I stayed, and obviously I didn't think my dad would fly off.
You were 6 and he left you?
Yes.
Shit.
Huge lesson.
Yeah.
Huge lesson. Wow.
To be fair, I did say I was okay.
Okay. He just believed you.
I was a man at the time.
Yeah. Did you freak out? 6 alone.
Yeah, I did freak out. I freaked out and I cried.
You were with your uncle though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But still, like.
I just want to make sure he didn't completely abandon you in the
No,
southern part of the
no.
Philippines, yo.
Yeah. No, I was with family, but still. By the time I realized, like, oh shit, no, I gotta catch that flight. So we did the whole rushing to the airport
Imagine
thing.
a 6-year-old is like, my flight.
Yeah, we rushed to the airport and I saw his plane fly off and I was just inconsolable. I was crying.
Reasonably
Understandably,
so,
I was
yeah.
6 again.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Pretty
still
normal.
cry when my dad leaves.
Yeah.
He's still leaving, like as we speak.
Oh god. Yeah.
The Meehans are just slow at shit. Still texting and he's still walking out.
So the next day, I flew back to Manila alone.
Wild. That is
Yeah.
pretty wild.
Yeah, the stewardess had to sit next to me. She was hanging out with me. She was really sweet. But yeah, I cried. Everybody saw me cry, and I still get told that story up to now. I remember when this guy cried.
How is that not the story of how you got home by yourself when you were 6? And instead, when he cried, 'cause
Yeah.
his dad left him, 1,000 miles away?
Yeah, at 6 years old. Yeah. So yeah, that was a pretty defining moment.
That's a big story.
Yeah.
I did not know that about you.
Yeah.
That sounds quite traumatic.
I'm okay.
Being
I,
honest.
I'm
you
okay.
You want to sign up to his relationship shit? You got
I'm
$60 an hour,
okay.
bro.
Oh, I can't. No, I do not. I can't afford it. That's why we have you on this podcast.
This is actually just a session. Like we just wanted
So-
a free session.
Wait, is this even a real podcast? Were you even filming?
We're not recording. We're not recording. Don't worry about it. Don't worry
God
about it. So
damn
my
it.
father.
Go back.
We go back to it.
Yeah.
Well,
So that's where I think it. Well, long story short,
that's your personal experience.
my personal experience, and I think is not uncommon.
Mm.
Generally with men, we're just we're not allowed to have a lot of feelings.
Fair.
Were you told when you were crying that you were not allowed to cry?
No, they just laughed. basically.
That's even worse.
They're like, you said yes. You wanted Jurassic Park 3.
It's like you
Well,
dumbass.
no, let's be real. Still a reasonable trade.
No, yeah, no. Still, like
Okay.
at the time, I was kind of like, oh, yeah, okay, fair.
It's the only recorded time in history a T-Rex has ever lost. Ever.
Ever
In anything.
That's true. That's
Mhm.
true.
All
Hmm?
right, fair enough.
That's right.
Yeah.
I can't say my experience was that dramatic, but I did get a similar message growing up.
Yeah. Okay. What is your story?
I mean, really Catholic family, father who's not really emotional himself.
Of course.
My mom actually wasn't emotional either, which is also the weird part. Like if I would get hurt, I mean, of course she's my mom, so she'd come to me and help me out. But if like
Mhm.
I cried like too long, then it's like, okay, come on, you had 10 minutes. now you're just being a pussy.
Yeah.
You gotta stop.
Come on, buddy.
Were
What
you
do
also 6? Is it always when you're 6?
Maybe like one time I was a 6, but mostly like 11, 10, and 12, like near teenage years. Like,
Yeah.
like if I like, stubbed my toe or like, got like a finger prick or something, my mom would just be like, okay, be a man. Don't fucking complain.
Yeah.
You're going to be a man soon.
And you guys just both manned up after crying from then on.
No,
Well,
I still cry.
I mean, I'd still whine.
I'm
Just,
still
yeah,
crying.
same. I'd whine just a little bit, but it's kind of like, quietly.
See, my
Yeah.
story's different. Instead of being, when they tell you stop crying, you double down. You cry twice as hard. You're like, what? You're like, I just got started, bitch. Like, I didn't have the snot down my nose yet. I'm not even like, when you're speaking gibberish and you're half breathing, half talking. You're like, I didn't mean to pee myself. But that's what happens when you leave me in the store, you bitch. Let's go 1 billion%. We all learn different lessons, man. Are you doing your orgasm face?
I'm doing my orgasm face.
Was that it?
Blue steel.
That was it. Oh no,
you kill me.
that's so good. Yeah. Well, at least you double down.
I respect that. All right.
Yeah. That's pretty good. I had a similar to Patrick, actually. There's this one time, my younger brother, what he did at his store was he knocked a shelf over, and the shelf, it's a large shelf, fell on like the whole thing, like the edge, like the point. So like most of the weight focused down on my toenail, my big toenail, and it shattered my toenail into several different pieces, some of which pierced my skin.
Okay.
So it was just a bleeding mess. My toenail was ripped off. Some of the shards were embedded in my toe.
Ow.
It was so painful. It was very painful. And my mom got mad at me
Because
for I don't know, bleeding.
your toe is in the way.
Holy
for
shit.
bleeding, and then she got mad at me because I was crying because it was super painful, and also because this store owner got rubbing alcohol and sprayed it on my toe, which was super painful.
Makes sense.
Super painful. And she's like, I still have to do my groceries. Wait outside here.
Damn, you were a badass. I was just like, be like some pussy type shit. Like I touched the stove or like, got like a finger prick. You're just like, no, I was like dying. My mom said, fucking man up.
Yeah, no.
Shit.
And because of that, there was a point also in high school where I broke my finger in 3 places,
Wow.
which was entirely my fault. So what I did was I was working out, and I wanted to do a bench press. And specifically, I wanted to do an incline bench press to
Okay.
hit my upper pectorals.
Also known as a city push-up.
Yeah. Oh, okay. What? But all right. And then
I don't work out.
Yeah.
You have to make up these
yeah,
names.
it's good though. City push-up. I'm gonna use that from now on. So I didn't have an incline, obviously, right? But I thought to myself, I had this brilliant idea. My computer chair reclines. That's perfect. So I went on my computer chair, reclined it, lifted my weights, naturally very heavy, toppled over backwards. The weights landed on my finger, broken into 3 places. So my finger was like twice the size it should be. It was black, black from the broken bones, and I hid it all day because I didn't want to tell my mom that I broke my finger because I knew she'd get super mad. So I was just like going about my day as normal with my finger broken in 3 places. And over dinner, like she saw it and she's like, "What's wrong with your finger?" I'm like, "Oh, this? I just bruised it. It's just a bruise. It's fine." "No, it's twice its size as it should be, and it's black. Why is it black?" "That's just a bruise. It's just a bruise, Mom. Just don't worry about it. I'm fine. Look at me. No pain. Haha." This is so painful. And yeah, so she started getting mad. She's like, "What do you do?" I was like, "I just dropped a weight on it. No big, no big." So we got an X-ray, and I was like, it was broken in 3 places. And yeah, I got it.
You just sound like you have unresolved issues with your parents.
No, I love them. My parents are great.
Look at him doubling down in case they hear this.
He's like, fuck, they might
Look at
listen
this
to
shit. I
this.
love
I
you,
lo-
Mom and Dad.
I love you so much. No, but it's true. I mean, to be fair, it was I was a very, very hyperactive child. My childhood is characterized by bukols, so like lumps on my head. That's what I was known for as a child. I'd always have like a lump on my head from like falling down on something or trying to climb something and falling and like knocking my head on something. Yeah. So I was, and that one was, in fairness, that was not me.
I like how we stem from macho culture to childhood trauma.
Yeah.
They tend to go hand in hand, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, one stems from the other. It's just
Kind of just.
we're all just compensating for childhood trauma.
I'm secure. I can pee my pants right now and still feel like a man.
Mr. Pee Pee Pants. You gonna go
Mr. Pee Pee Pants.
You gonna go
Yeah.
Mr. Pee Pee
That's
Pants.
the
on
first
me?
word of that. Mr.
Fair.
Got him.
Got me again.
Can't disprove me.
So in tune with his emotions. So good.
It
How
is-
about you?
it
Do you have
is-
childhood trauma that you want to share as well?
I'm
You'd get your favorite flavor of ice cream, like your bitch mom gave you like,
Well,
like the wrong colored
the only
bike.
thing I can think of is being yelled at several times by adults when I didn't do anything wrong. It was just like kind of wrong time, wrong place. Telling my parents, and they're just like, okay. And you're just like 5 years old, like, what do you mean? Like, they're just like, okay, whatever.
So it's like more so not being heard when
Yeah,
you
Yeah.
should
we're,
be.
we're not being heard. Maybe there's also time I tried to pet a cat when I was 5, and I was like, here, come here, and it scratched me, and then my parents yelled at me for getting scratched by a cat.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah, that
Yeah.
happens. The blame game always a big thing. Like. Yeah, that's like one time my phone got stolen and then my mom got mad at me. I was just like, why did you? And to be fair, this thief was so good. Like I literally like just clapped and like, honestly, you deserve that phone, because it was perfectly timed. I was waiting for a bus and all the buses were full, and so like in the Philippines sometimes you just kind of have to run and like grab onto the door and hold on for dear life. So he lifted my phone. Split second, both my feet were off the ground, in between from the ground and getting onto the bus. That's when he got my phone. I felt it. I slipped from my pocket. I was like, wow, he deserved it. That was excellent timing. But
Yeah, think about childhood trauma. This how happened mostly when you were 6, and I'm assuming 12, 11. I'm just gonna guess.
I don't know, 6.
Or let's say the range of childhood trauma was from what age to what age?
Ooh, maybe for me, maybe like 6 to, jeez, I don't know, 18.
18. It's a little long. How about you?
When I had childhood trauma,
Yeah. Say me, what age? What age group is it? Like 6 to what? I always want to start with 6.
I mean, I feel like it starts early as like 3.
Okay, 3 till like when did it kind of stop? And you get to stand on your own 2 feet, sort of thing.
I mean, childhood trauma. I guess when you become a teenager.
Because I proposed a strategy that all happened usually, except for you when you were 18, when they were bigger than you. Now that they're smaller, just hand-to-hand combat. Next time mom gets short with you, you're like, mom, let's take it outside. like, you staunch her. You go chest to chest and you go, huh? What'd you say? Huh? You go get chin to forehead. You tell her what's up.
Call me a pussy one more time. We'll see who's crying. If you're not.
It's a well, I don't know. For me, not a size thing. My mom is really small.
Yeah.
I was taller when I was like maybe 8 or 9. No, maybe not. Maybe like 12.
Well, we're all here for each other, right? Group hug.
We're just
group
we're-
hug?
we've been group
Shoulder
hugging
rub.
this whole time. It's so warm.
Yeah, it is really warm and toasty. in
It's
here.
the light. The light is really intense.
Yeah,
The
and
light
this
is kind of tense. I feel like I'm on a porn set with that light. It's just like,
Yeah, well, do you want to be a star?
sure.
Well, what are you willing to do?
What do I have to do to be a star is the question.
Well,
There's
I
2 of
know-
us. That's a start.
yeah, that's fair enough. I mean,
I'm willing to do anything.
I like where this is
Yeah.
going. I like that quarter silence. It's like-
for like a split second, he gave me his orgasm face, and I was so turned on. It's like that was impressive. I see it now.
Well, I did come 9 times just now, so there's mutual.
And you didn't cry once. That's
No,
impressive.
no.
That's impressive.
Yeah, he's not 6 years old anymore.
Yeah, fuck that.
That's amazing. Yeah, and also this couch really is just. I guess it's confirmed now. This is a 2-person couch.
Well, I still like how close this all feels.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't know. How to
Yeah.
do,
It's kind of like a sauna. You
Right?
get used to it.
and then eventually we
Yeah.
take our shirts off, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Going a little bit back to relationship management. So you had a background in BS like psychology, right?
Mhm.
Have you actually used anything you've learned in psychology, or
That's
is
a
there
good
anything
one.
that you've had to unlearn from, like, because you're going from straight like theory to actual practice, and there's always a disconnect there.
So this is actually a great question, and I
Yeah.
never get this question. I really like it. Usually people assume, okay, he's got a psychology degree. That's where he learned it all. But I actually would say most people that have psych degrees don't know shit.
Fair
Like you
enough.
take maybe 10 courses over 4 years. You learn things like animal psychology,
Mm-hmm.
positive psychology, basically just everything like on the
Right.
spectrum.
Yeah.
People that are schizophrenic, all kinds of shit. I learned more about psychology by reading books on my own on like subjects I was interested in.
Awesome.
And then of course thinking every day, like, how does this apply to my real life? And if this person does X, Y, and Z, what does that say about him or her?
Wow, that's actually really awesome. Now, that's actually very methodological and very academic. I like the way you approach it.
Yeah.
So where do you get the books? Is it more are they very academic books, or do you take from, say, common literature or philosophy?
Some of them are just very popular self-help books. Some of them are more academic. A lot of them are pop psychology,
Right.
meaning psychology that is written for the masses.
Mm-hmm.
One of them actually is, I don't know if you ever heard of Robert Greene,
Yeah.
The Laws of Human Nature.
Yeah.
That's actually one of my favorite ones. It's like a huge fucking book. And he read like Freud, like actual
Right.
like 1920s, like Alfred Adler,
Yeah.
like the most boring fucking people you
Yeah.
can imagine, like
Yeah.
Carl Jung, like just unbelievably boring books. He read like all these books and then compiled it from his own experience into like common sense, like any idiot can read his book and like figure out what he's saying. And
That's
like
actually
breaking
pretty
down
awesome.
like
Yeah.
the human psyche. So that book I would say is really good.
Does it have pictures?
No, there's no pictures.
Useless.
I think there's a
It's
coloring
okay, buddy.
section at the
We'll,
end.
yeah,
no?
we'll find one for
If it
you.
doesn't have pictures, how do you expect anyone to understand? Like,
Ah, shit, you got me beat there. I guess you're
Yeah,
right.
it's probably a terrible book. It's probably just a terrible book. Actually, it's quite interesting. Okay, I've got one for you. Just a bit more scientific related to. So what I've been finding out, well, something I learned a bit recently has been what's called the replication crisis. I'm not sure if you're too like if there's something you've touched on, but a lot, basically what it is, and like I'd say the past decade, a lot of social psychology, a lot of the results, which have been popularized, say in social media or in news. It turns out when you look at the methodology of these studies and these papers, their data sets are basically that they can't be replicated, which in science means it's not valid.
No.
If you can't replicate a data set, then it's not a valid result.
when you say it can't replicate a data set, does it mean it's too individual every single time they run the experiment, or the experiment itself can't be run again with the
Yeah,
same circumstance?
Or the priors or the assumptions even of the study are completely off base and tangential. For the one thing, there was the one study on video games affecting violence. Yeah, and so what they did for that was the way they measured the tendency to violence was after they played like a whatever violent video game, like a war video game. They brought the person to the next room and told them it was a completely different study, a completely different experiment. And experiment was they had to put hot sauce on pizza for someone to eat. And they measured violence with the amount of hot sauce they put on the pizza, which is absolutely ridiculous.
That's kind of
because
weird.
That's entirely dependent on very
A billion
individual
different
things.
things.
Like how tolerant are you to hot sauce?
How hungry you might be at that particular moment.
Yeah,
it could
or-
be random as.
Yeah, it's not like you're trying to hurt the next person. You could be like,
I love hot sauce, so
Yeah.
this person could love hot sauce too.
yeah,
Well,
exactly.
I'd rather have too much than too little.
Right.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, and so obviously, I mean, just that base assumption is already completely off base, and that basically throws all the results out the window.
So you're saying like it's impossible to measure psychology and violence, or
No.
in general?
It's not that, because you can try to break things down, right, by eliminating all these confounding variables. But what you can't do is like make a very tangential relationship and make that an assumption of your entire study.
I get what you're saying, and psychology is kind of like a pseudo science where it's not really like scientific in the sense where it's like, okay, we can prove.
Did you say pseudo?
Yeah, I think it's
Sorry, like
Yeah.
I had to double check with Johnny, and be like, pseudo?
That's
Pseudo? I
what I
was like,
meant to
if
say.
this is a word I don't know, I can't call you out on it. So I had to look at Johnny and be like, pseudo?
Pseudoscience.
Sorry.
Pseudoscience.
Pseudoscience.
Sorry, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
It's the weed brownies you gave me.
Oh, yeah, you were saying,
in
so it's
America.
kind of a pseudoscience.
Yeah, psychology is like one of those things where it's like you get closer to the truth, like, but you really can't, there's no concrete way to prove anything false. Like, I don't think we can technically even prove Freud was wrong there, things about sex, because how do you prove him wrong?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say it's a pseudoscience because a pseudoscience would be something like astrology.
Whoa.
Astrology's stupid and baseless, and anyone.
Well,
who
you just
believes in
offended
it-
the entire universe.
I know. We
Are
just
you
ruined our
ser-
fan base.
Are you
No one's
serious,
listening to this
dude?
point.
Like,
Anyway,
what's your sign?
topic for
What's your sign?
topic
Real
for
quick,
another
real
topic
quick though.
for
What's
another
your sign?
Topic for another.
What's your sign?
Capricorn. I'm a
Classic
Capricorn.
Capricorn move.
hate you.
Predictable Capricorn.
Yeah, but it's not like so pseudoscience is more like astrology. It's like a what's the word? Soft science.
That's what I was
Yeah,
gonna say.
like a soft science,
It's
right?
a soft science.
Yeah, so I get what you are like. It's super difficult to, because when you're talking basically about like the human mind, it's so multifaceted and it's sort of really impossible to just isolate certain aspects of it
Yeah.
without taking into account like the general context of the human mind. So yeah, I get like God, I would hate to have been in psychology just for that reason. Because I like logic and
I mean, that's fair.
like,
That's fair.
like yeah, if you know.
I don't know. I'm just thinking pretty deeply by what you said. I'm kind of lost mentally there right now.
All right, think about it for a second.
Like the depths of the human mind. Like,
Yeah, it's how do you isolate an
You really
aspect
can't
of the human
quantify-
mind?
you did psychology. Isn't there like a whole like like we just think about what you think about like as like we're men. We think about sex a lot more. We think about violence a lot more. Is that a real thing or is that just sort of a little chart I saw growing up that wasn't actually true?
Ooh, that's actually a fun topic.
Right?
Well,
You've seen that chart, right? But it's like that little like
Yeah.
this bit much of our
Yeah.
brain is about sex and stuff, and for the girls it's like this much or something.
That's I can
I
tell you right
actually-
now that's completely fake.
Awesome.
I'm curious, how the fuck do you even find that out?
Exactly,
Like, do
that
you just
doesn't make
have a bunch
sense.
of people say, all right, how
Or
many
maybe it was
times-
representative of the volume of the thoughts on that subject. Maybe. I don't know. I roughly remember it very sketchily.
I mean, from what I understand, like they basically said, okay, the average guy thinks about sex 42 times in a day, but how do you measure that? Like, do you just pick 1,000 guys? You're like, okay.
I
you
am my
count the
friends.
number of times you thought about
Ring the bell
sex.
every time you think about sex.
It's like,
Just walk around and ringing the bell. Ding.
it's like, what if they forgot like half the, time?
The boys. There's a bunch of college guys. The boys.
The voice.
Oh, I thought about sex more.
And it's like women are gonna be like, oh, I don't want to seem like a slut, so I thought
Exactly.
about it 100 times, but I'm gonna say 3.
Exactly. Again, it's a question.
And how do you like measure what a thought is? Because I had a friend psychologist tell me that
Oh yeah, that's
that
right.
you get like I've heard up to 3,000 thoughts a day, and then your brain just entertains whatever is you choose to focus on. Is that a real thing?
I wouldn't know, but yeah, Patrick, you're the psychologist.
Well,
Maybe.
I'm not sure on that area, but I do think that there's some logic to that. That every single day there's like 20,000 stimuli. And you only can. Your subconscious mind
yeah.
actually does pick it up. Like
Yeah.
your subconscious mind is so powerful that it picks it up, but your conscious mind, I think, can only hold maybe 20 pieces of information at once.
So it's
right.
stimuli. Like in this
Yeah.
room, there's this light. There's
Right,
like
this-
the shirts and like.
Like your mind is absorbing it all, but like you're only conscious of like the tip of the iceberg at any given moment. That's why so
Yeah.
many people are like they go through the whole life and they don't really know themselves.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You know what's also a little trippy about like the mind and stimuli?
Mhm.
Most of what we see, we're not actually seeing. We're technically blind. I can't remember the number, but I'm gonna say maybe 30, 35, 40% of the time. Like, our eyes do these things. Oh God, I'm missing all the words.
Dilapidate.
No.
Thought I had it.
Saccade. I think saccade is the word.
Pseudoscience.
They
You
pseudo.
fucking assholes.
Yeah, I think it's called like saccade. But what it means is they sort of dart around. They flicker around, right? They're always moving to try and get that picture. But in between these movements, you actually can't see anything. So what the brain does is it sort of fills in the blanks between these blind moments.
So we don't actually see anything for its still image. We're always like compensating. Is that what you're trying to say?
The brain is eternally compensating for what we can't
Cool.
see. We straight up can't see the periphery. So occasionally there's we get some area of movement and the brain fills in all the blanks basically.
Would that explain why some people see ghosts at the corner of their eye because it's not really there?
Yeah, that might be just an issue of brain processing, right?
Right.
There might be like say a lag or a disconnect between your visual stimuli and the brain trying to fill in blanks. It's just not filling the blanks well. There's like lag.
Do you believe in ghosts, Patrick?
Well, there's one right there, so don't call me crazy. He's been jerking off the whole time.
He means well. His name's Patrick.
Oh, you
Leave him alone, dude. It's your future self.
fucking asshole. Are you analyzing me right now? This is
How to turn tables. Yeah. Do you believe in ghosts though? That's a good question.
As a psychologist,
I
right?
do
Yeah.
not. I don't know. I believe in God. I'm pretty agnostic.
Okay.
But I believe, logically speaking, that's the only stance you can take is I don't know.
With ghosts?
Or if anything goes.
With spirituality,
Because
period.
even if you're like an atheist and you're like, listen, I'm smarter than you, dumb fuck. It's like, you're not. You can't prove magical unicorns don't exist, bro.
You can.
It's a
You
whole
really can.
spaghetti monster thing. Remember that?
You can.
You can't disprove something, so technically,
Technically, it's a faith.
Okay.
yeah.
Lack of proof is not proof itself.
Okay, but
Yeah.
that's what they use as a symbol of how they prove, like, like deities in general. You know what I mean? Like, they always
What do you mean? What do you mean?
because I went to like an Opus Dei school and it was ultra
Yes.
Catholic and
Yeah,
hella,
yeah, yeah.
we got into like this like what's it called, the compendium of the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
A lot of the time they it relies on faith. You know what I mean? And they're using that as an oxymoron to explain like, oh, if faith is the answer to this question, I can have faith.
In a
But
flying
there's an
spaghetti
old
monster. Yeah,
spaghetti
yeah, yeah.
monster,
A
and
flying-
technically exact same grounds for it to exist.
Yeah.
Technically, and
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
kind of like, okay, but fair enough. I mean,
Yeah.
like, that's why it's a recognized religion, right? In the States, the
Yeah,
Flying Spaghetti
yeah.
Monster
Is it?
crew.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
actually it
Yeah,
is.
it is.
Yeah, it's got like,
It
and
is.
so is Star Wars, the Force. They have like 1,000 people.
That's awesome.
I read that
I'm
somewhere.
not sure who the bigger assholes are, though, because I know, like, Christians get a bad rap sometimes, but I feel like those guys got to be even more obnoxious. Just like,
The Star Wars people.
I
They
don't
mean
know.
well.
they
I was just say the Flying Spaghetti Monster people. They just sound like, know-it-alls. Like the
Oh,
guy at
okay.
the party that thinks he knows everything and you're stupid.
But what if
Yeah.
he has a guitar and long haircut?
Okay.
and sings Wonderwall.
How good is the
night.
weed is he smoking, though? Because
It's
that's
not
important.
great.
Okay.
It's dank and like musty.
If he was so smart, though, why has he got bad weed?
That's a good point.
All right.
I get what you're saying though about the flying spaghetti monster. I mean,
You
just,
see the logic, right?
no, and also Patrick saying they're a bit obnoxious. Like, okay, you can not believe in something and not kind of just be an ass about
Well,
it.
maybe he was just really hurt by some religious practice
Maybe.
growing up, and that's his
Maybe.
like way of payback. You talked about trauma. Yours is from your parents. Maybe his is from like Father Donovan.
In the confession.
Yeah, you never know. You know what I mean? Like people deal with stuff.
fair
It
enough,
was
yeah.
weird because there was a hole in the middle, and I'd never seen one before. But something came out of it, and I guess it was God at the time.
Yeah, we're all but walking bags of trauma.
But it
you know what I
really
mean?
opened my
That's true.
eyes, for sure.
I like that. We're all just walking bags of trauma.
Right, we're all trying to, and we find good friends to figure out, how to chill out with it.
Yeah. Like,
One question though: if you saw a ghost in your room, how would you react as a non-believer? Say it's staring at you, like Haunting of Hill House style, which you should
I have
watch,
not
which
seen
everyone
that.
should
I
watch.
would question my reality and be like, am I lucid dreaming right now?
All right, it starts walking to you. What do you do?
I've had lucid dreams like this, and I usually just freeze up.
Yeah,
I'm just like, I don't
you're,
know what to do.
You're freeze.
you're
Yeah.
a freezer. I think me and Marco have the exact same
Oh
tactic.
yeah. What's
We-
yours, bro? What are you gonna do?
Me, if I ever. Okay, wait. Actually, it also depends on the ghost. Are we talking ring?
Oh, like
Oh,
what? Are
shit.
you asking about gender? Are you
I-
asking
I-
about?
Yeah, no, it's a
I was
gender.
Of
thinking
course,
like,
because my theory also needs
so,
gender.
so we already know.
we already know what it is.
Yeah.
I
I
love
was
this.
thinking like Lord of the Rings, like what do they call it? The riders?
The ring
Oh,
raiders.
ringers, yeah, like one of those, like,
the
that
mentor
would be,
kind of thing.
Yeah, that'd be freaky as shit.
I
The
think I'd still
mentor
try to
kind of
pull the
things.
same thing.
They're ring wraiths.
Ring, yeah, but they look like the mentors. So
Yeah,
trying to
Yeah.
say.
they do,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they're ring wraiths.
They are ring wraiths. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's their actual thing called?
What do you mean? Their actual
They're
thing?
Nazgul.
They're pet
Ah.
dragons.
No, they're Nazgul.
They're Nazgul themselves.
Yes.
And what are their dragons called? Nazis.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure. I thought they were Nazgul.
The dragon things. Are
Yeah, I thought the
Nazgul?
dragons were
Are
Nazgul.
you
know,
by any
they-
chance in part of the Flying Spaghetti Monster Church?
They didn't let me in.
No.
I didn't pass the test.
Oh.
like the relationship coach that.
Okay. So
I
Marco,
should've.
going back to it, what is yours and likely my tactic? Okay, say from the ring. No, what's the name? Sudoku.
Sadako.
Sudoku.
All right,
Sadako. Yeah.
okay.
Go. Sadako comes crawling out.
Bar age because she's a ghost, so technically she's like 100 years old.
Yes.
Right. So
Yes.
there's no like
yes. No age.
there's no
shame.
allegations
No
or I can get in
allegations.
trouble for this, and it's for my
None.
life. So
It's
listen,
for your life. Yeah.
she's walking towards me. She's irrational. She's a ghost,
Mhm.
right? She's emotional. That's why she exists on this plane of Earth.
Mm-hmm.
She's probably never had sex ever.
Never.
No.
You whip your dick out. She's wrung with emotion. you hype yourself up. I'm gonna rock your ghost world. You're gonna want to stay here for the rest of your immortal life, and then incredibly underperform. Like he wants nothing to do with you after. So just look at you, just like fixing your clothes, and you're all like, wait, where are you going? You're like, don't you want to cuddle? She's like, no, I got another guy.
Are you ghosting me?
I'm gonna haunt someone else. Like I don't want anything to do with you. You know what I mean? Like she'll make it like a fake excuse. Like I gotta go home. I got work tomorrow, and then she just never comes back.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, and it's foolproof. And some people critique it like,
Same.
how could you possibly get like an erection at a time? But fear is a very good.
Aphrodisiac.
Yeah. That's not what I was going. But yeah.
I love you so much. Fear is an aphrodisiac. You just see like this dark side go over his face. And he like puts on clown makeup, starts scaring people to sleep with him.
Amazing. Right. So fear is an aphrodisiac, and I think we can end that line. That's a pretty good way. It's been like an hour.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. So fear is an aphrodisiac.
Any closing words, Patrick? You want to say hi to someone? Say bye to someone? Say fuck your ex? Like fuck you. I'm still mad at you.
I was gonna say, if you're watching this, can you please call me? I still love you after 5 years. I've worked a lot on myself. I really feel like now it would work.
Yeah. Oh, we can verify that he has not cried once this entire podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I've really matured.
He's doing so much better now.
I'm not a pussy anymore.
Awesome. Yeah, so thanks everybody for listening in. This is our first guest podcast. So if you have any suggestions on how we can better get Patrick to reveal more childhood trauma.
I don't think I revealed anything to you.
Yeah, or how I can stop revealing childhood trauma when guests come on. Did not see that one coming.
Yeah,
Just
we're kind of
pour it out.
opposite ends of the spectrum. We need to like bring some balance.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Or you're just a really good relationship manager, man. You just brought all of that trauma inside me.
He did give you impressive psychology looking into your soul eyes the entire time.
He did. He also gave me solid orgasm face.
This is what people pay $60 USD for. Not my advice, just advice.
Not my advice.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
All right, don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and don't be afraid to tell us about your childhood traumatic experience and your relationship problems, because we have Patrick to advise us now.
Yeah, $60 an hour.
All right, thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Patrick, say bye.
Bye.
But